supposed to come in early.
Don't keep your husband waiting, Ellie Mae.
Husband?
Well, I mean husband-to-be.
Now, Granny, you promised you wouldn't go talking marriage right off.
All right. Open the door and let the groom in.
Good morning, Mr. Clampett. Granny?
Howdy.
Apparently you were expecting someone else. I can come back.
Oh, no. Come in.
You're just in time for a heart-thumping treat. Guess who's coming?
Cary Grant. Rex Harrison. Paul Newman.
Get hold of yourself. It's Luke Short's boy.
Who?
Come to think of it, Granny, I reckon Miss Jane ain't ever seen Luke's boy.
Well, you heard of him, ain't you?
Well, I'm afraid not. Tell me about him.
Well, first off, his pa owns a general store back home.
Oh, yes, I heard you speak of Luke Short's general store. Is this Luke Jr.?
Well, his given name is Beauregard, but everybody calls him Bo.
Luke had 13 young'uns, and Bo was a pick of the litter.
Prettiest baby I ever did see. Had yaller curls all over his head.
I remember when he was a boy, his pa used to cut his hair, the girls used to crowd around and scrap over the clippings.
His pa had to take him out of school because the girls couldn't keep their minds on their studies.
Then he went to clerking in the store, and Luke's business just doubled.
On Saturdays, you couldn't get close to that store for the mamas and the daughters.
He used to come from 40, 50 miles away.
More than that if they had a ride.
No two ways about it. Luke Short's boy was always looked on as a catch of the heels.
A son-in-law you can be proud of, Jed.
He's here to marry Ellie?
Now, Granny, I ain't heard a word about that, and it ain't fair to get Ellie all steamed up over something that might not happen.
Then here! Ellie! Come on, Jethro's back with your husband!
Goodness, I'm quite nervous at the prospect of meeting this extraordinary young man.
No need to be, Miss Jane, because in spite of all the fuss that's been made over him, Bo has managed to keep both feet on the ground.
Uncle Jed! Granny! He's here! Come on in, Bo!
Howdy. Howdy, Bo. Good to see you.
Thank you, Mr. Clampett.
Oh, you old heartbreaker, you! How are you?
Hi, Granny.
This here's Miss Hathaway.
Howdy, Miss Hathaway.
How do you do, Mr. Short?
Well, everybody in the parlor. I'll fetch some cold cider.
I'll get both suitcases.
I'll do that, Jethro. You put the truck away.
Yes, sir.
Well, how was your trip? Your first visit here? Don't you care to talk?
I'm sorry, ma'am, but for all I know, you might be one of them Hollywood sirens. Paul warned me not to answer no questions, because that's how they find out where you carry your money.
I assure you I am not a Hollywood siren.
Well, I'm glad, because I got pretty nigh $30 sewed into the lining of my suit.
Go on in the parlor. I'll take these up to your room.
I'll take them, Mr. Clampett. I brung presents for everybody.
He's a regular fashion plate, ain't he?
Yes, you don't see clothes like that too often.
Of course, with his pa's money, he can afford to be a style setter. You go on in. I'll go up and fetch Ellie.
Oh, let me do that. You go and entertain your company.
Well, thank you. She ought to be ready by now. Granny got her started early this morning.
I'll bet she's excited.
Well, Granny is. I ain't so sure about Ellie.
Ellie Mae, Beauregard's waiting to see you. Are you ready?
Sure I am. Howdy, Miss Jane.
Ellie Mae, what in the world? Why have you done this?
Well, Granny told me to put on a dress because Bo Short was going to ask me to marry up with him.
Well, he certainly won't ask you if you look like this.
That's what I figured.
But, Ellie, why don't you want him to ask you? You can always say no.
Well, not with Granny around, I can't. Well, Granny's had me and Bo matched up since we was this high.
But you didn't care for him.
He never was nothing but a little sissy do. I used to beat him up and throw him in the pond. He wouldn't even fight back.
I see.
I sure don't want to marry up with no man that I can whoop.
No, Ellie Mae, whatever your reasons, this will only embarrass your father. We'll think of a more subtle way to discourage Bo.
I can't beat him up and throw him in the pond.
I think we can be even more subtle than that.
Maybe Ellie'd hurry some if she knowed that I brung her a bag of jawbreakers.
I'm going up and get it.
No need to, Granny. Miss Jane will fetch her down.
Well, I ain't waiting no longer. I'm gonna open my present right now. Ah, dog, look at this.
The paw turned me loose at the candy counter.
Milk bottle, chocolate money, red hots, beehives, and my favorite candy bananas. No wonder the girls was always after you.
Now, believe me, Ellie, he'll be much more frightened of you this way. Now, remember, you're a Hollywood siren.
I'll do my best, Miss Jane. Here's Ellie. Now, come on, let's leave these young'uns alone. What's the matter, Bo?
I just swallowed a jawbreaker. Ellie Mae, you've changed.
Have I, Bo?
Yes, ma'am. You ain't the girl I was expecting to see at all. Your face is full of powder, and your lips is painted, and you smell from perfume, and I've never seen such a tight dress. My daddy warned me to keep away from women like you.
Did he, Bo?
Yes, ma'am. But he's nuts. Let's get married. Where are we going?
Outside! I'm gonna beat you up and throw you in the cement pump! Well, son, when's the wedding gonna be?
Granny, I've been wondering, do you think Ellie really wants to marry me?
Well, of course she does. What made you ask?
Well, if you hadn't have stopped her, she was going to beat me up and throw me in the pond.
I never did like him, and I don't like him now. He ain't nothing but a sissy dude. I'm gonna beat him up and throw him in a pond.
That ain't gonna do nothing but get Granny mad and Bo wet.
Mr. Clampett, since I feel that I am in large measure responsible for this situation, I am ready to throw myself into the breach.
What you mean?
Well, when Mr. Short first met me, he assumed, mistakenly, of course, that I was a Hollywood temptress. Suppose I play on that theme and lure him away from Ellie.
Well, that's mighty nice of you. Well, once you got him, what would you do with him?
Ah, yes. There's the rub. But we've got to get Ellie out of this somehow.
Well, let's start by getting her out of that dress. The more Bo sees of her looking like that, the harder our work's gonna be.
I know just the dress to put on.
Good.
Hey, Ellie, them biscuits you made this morning was just great.
Well, thank you, Jethro.
Look at this rascal. I hit it dead center with 6 shots and didn't even chip it.
Where you going, boy?
I'm gonna ask Bo if he wants to do some target shooting.
Well, why don't you stay here and visit with Miss Jane? Where's the rest of Ellie Mae's biscuits?
Oh, Granny hid him under the sink. She's gonna bury him later.
Ooh, they sure are scrumptious looking.
And the rest of her cooking is just as good as her biscuits.
Nice and crisp.
I reckon that brings us to the man-to-man talk. You sure you're in love with Ellie Mae?
You know, to tell you the truth, there is one thing about marrying Ellie that's got me worried.
What's that?
Howdy, Bo. Howdy, Paul.
Ellie Mae Clampett. Now you have gone and showed Bo what you really look like.
I don't care.
Oh, ain't she a mess? I declare you could throw her in the river and skim ugly for 2 months.
Well, that takes care of my only worry.
It does?
Yes, sir. You see, I'm gonna be busy in the general store, and I need a wife that ain't too grand to slop hogs and scrub the floor and clean out the barn. You just gotta marry me now.
Come on, we's going to the pond.
Wait a minute, Ellie. He just ate one of your biscuits. He'll sink like a rock.
Where are you taking me, Miss Hathaway?
Just over to the sofa. I have something very important to talk to you about.
But I'm already spoken for.
I'm not going to ask you to marry me. I'm going to ask you not to marry any woman.
Well, gee, what else can a fella marry?
Oh, once in a blue moon, a man comes along who's the answer to every woman's dream. Her secret love, Mr. Ideal. Bo, you are such a man.
I am?
Yes. You're too good for any one woman. You belong to all women everywhere.
I do?
Yes. As long as you're free, they can have a dream. Don't break their hearts.
What'll I do?
Fulfill your destiny. Be a man of the world, a Prince Charming to all the lonely Cinderellas. Be the sweetheart of 1,000 women.
Gee, I'm gonna need a bicycle.
Hey, Bo, you ain't really gonna marry up with my dumb old cousin, are you?
No, he isn't, Jethro. He's going to be a man of the world, a sophisticated international playboy, aren't you, Bo?
Well, I'd heck to break all them women's hearts. It sounds like more fun than getting thrown in the pond, only I don't know how to be a sophisticated international playboy.
Heck, fire, I can learn you.
You, Jethro? I mean, you, Jethro, of course. What better teacher?
Come on, Bo.
What do we do, Jethro?
Well, we go into town and we stand on the corner and we get us some girls.
Is it that easy?
It is when you got what we got. Howdy, ma'am. We's a couple of sophisticated international playboys. Here for a handful of red hots?
Howdy, ma'am. We's a couple of playboys, sophisticated international playboys, that is.
Oh, you got to get to the candy quicker. Let them know we sports.
I'll try, but these city women move awful fast. Howdy, ma'am. How about a jawbreaker?
Good idea.
Jethro?
Yeah, Bo?
I believe I'd just as soon go home and get thrown in the pond.
Again, Miss Jane, I don't know what you told Bo, but whatever it was, it sure got shut of him.
Well, I simply appealed to his male egotism and suggested that he reject monogamy and choose instead the more hedonistic existence of a bon vivant.
Yeah, well, whatever that is, it sure got shut of him.
Dad! Get the guns! Get the hounds! That boat short has run out on your daughter!
Granny, wait!
We've been waiting since Ellie was 12. Now that she finally got a fella, he ain't getting away.
Oh, dear, I didn't foresee this.
Well, I can handle Granny. Where'd the boys go?
Into town to flirt with girls.
Well, that ought to keep them there a spell.
Come on, Duke. Hurry! Get up, you lazy bag of bones. We gotta track down that two-legged weasel that has trumped on the family honor. Jed. Here, Miss Jane. Now just shoot to scare him. We want him to be able to stand up in front of the preacher.
Well, let's have Miss Jane take her car and look for the rascal in town.
Good hunting, Miss Jane. You know what he looks like, don't you?
Roger Wilco.
I hope she don't bring him back instead of
She won't. Now, Granny, you scour the country out back of the house, and I'll cover the other direction.
Can I take old Duke with me? My nose ain't what it used to be.
Good luck.
If I see him, I'll fetch him back. He might be limping a little, but he'll come.
What are you shooting, rock salt?
No, rice. It stings just as bad and hints at the same time.
Jethro, why did you come back so soon?
We wasn't doing too good, Miss Jane.
I got a awful wallet.
I'd have done fine if that hick hadn't been along.
Know something, Miss Hathaway? Mad be, I just ain't cut out to be a sophisticated international playboy.
You can say that.
Oh, but you are. You both are. Handsome and intelligent, suave.
Hey, loaded with candy. What do you reckon could have went wrong?
Of course. You don't have the one thing that immediately identifies an international playboy.
What's that?
Boutonnieres.
What'd you do? Eat them on the way out?
We don't stock them, Jim.
I was referring to the flowers the debonair gentlemen wear in their buttonholes.
You mean if we was to go back and stand in front of your bank with them flowers, we'll do better?
I guarantee it. See you there. I'll see you later. Au revoir.
Well, yonder some flowers. Let's get picking.
Good. We're in time. Now, you know your assignments. If you carry them out convincingly, you not only get this afternoon off, but you may come in late tomorrow as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. You don't have to worry about me. I go to acting school at night.
Fine.
Are you sure this will be all right with Mr. Drysdale?
I'll take full responsibility. Besides, Mr. Drysdale is out of town. Here they come. To your posts.
Howdy, ma'am. I'm a...
Sophisticated international playboy.
Yes, ma'am. See, Jethro, you don't even need the candy.
Dog! Howdy, ma'am.
Oh, I can't believe it. After all these months of waiting, and now, at last, destiny has brought me face to face with a sophisticated international playboy. Be still, my heart. Be still, my wildly beating.
Oh, knock it off.
Y'all want to go for a ride with us, playboys?
I'd love to.
How about you, ma'am? We can drive up to my Uncle Jed's and have a swim.
Well, sounds wonderful, but we haven't any bathing suits.
Shucks, we'll buy you some.
Oh, we couldn't let you do that.
Listen, baby, you're with a couple of sophisticated international playboys. And he's got pretty near $30 sewed into the lining of his suit.
Jethro. Pa said not to tell that to no Hollywood women.
But, Boo, they expect us to be big spenders.
Well, all right. I got $2 in silver. We'll blow that.
Listen, playboys, we can stop by my place and get some bathing suits.
Okay.
Well, just for you three. I got one in my suitcase.
What's that you're wearing?
This here's a swimming suit.
You're kidding.
Oh, it's been hanging in Paul's store for a long time, but nobody could afford to buy it. It's a going-away present. He let me have it for half price.
I think it's cute.
Who's that?
Howdy, Granny.
Bo shows you miserable two-time environment. What are you doing with them strange women? Where's your bride-to-be?
Oh, I ain't gonna marry Ellie Mae.
You ain't?
No, ma'am. I'm an international playboy. I belong to all women.
Well, I'm blowing off my chunk of your worthless hide right now.
Is that a fact? Well, Luke, I wonder how come Bo didn't say nothing. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Jethro didn't get seconds on brains neither. Well, no, Luke, that ain't thunder. Sounds more like Granny, but I don't know what she'd be shooting at. Oh, yes, I do. I'll call you back.
You hold him while I get some more rice. He's going to marry Ellie if it's the last thing he ever does.
Granny, I just been talking to Luke Short. Bo didn't come out here to marry Ellie.
He didn't?
No, he come out here to be what they call inducted in the Army. He'll be down to some fort by 6 o'clock. We'd best get him on his way.
Morning, everybody. Jethro, you want one of the girls to ride up there with you?
Oh, no, that's all right, Bo. You're the one that's going in the Army.
What I want to know is why he had to come all the way out here to get inducted.
Well, Luke says the Army couldn't take a chance on drafting him back home. The girls would have rioted.
Yeah, Bo always was looked on as the catch of the hills.
Mrs. Brewster are here.
Hello, Mr. Drysdale.
Surprise, Melbourne. Well, for heaven's sakes, it certainly is. Why didn't you let me know you were coming to town? Oh, we didn't let anybody know. We're here under a cloak of absolute secrecy.
Oh, well, excuse me, I'll get back to...
Just a moment, Miss Hathaway. We need your pledge of silence.
My goodness.
What is it, John? Your oil company mixed up in some big defense project? A new secret rocket fuel, is that it?
Of course, and you don't want foreign agents to know you're in town.
Oh, it's even more important than that. We don't want the Clampetts to know we're in town.
The Clampetts?
Well, they're really wonderful people, but I'm afraid that hillbilly hospitality is a bit overpowering for a city girl.
Oh, that's right. They met you at the plane after your wedding. Yes, that ride from the airport was an experience that Edith still hasn't gotten over.
Right through the middle of Beverly Hills on their honeymoon express. Never been so embarrassed in my life.
Well, hang on, dear. We'll be at the hotel soon. Jethro, that's the hotel just up the street there. But don't stop in front. There's a basement garage. Just make a turn at that alley there.
Oh, you're coming home with us first. We got a surprise for you.
Another one? I mean, you've done too much already.
Yes, this ride from the airport is something we'll never forget.
Shucks, that ain't nothing compared to what's waiting for you at home.
Oh, here's the alley, Jethro. Just make
What was the surprise they had for you?
I'll answer that. The Clampetts had put up their little cabin out by the pool to keep Granny happy.
And we made the mistake of admiring it.
You mean...
Yeah.
Oh, no, not for your honeymoon.
That was the surprise.
They're surprised, all right. Just look at their faces.
Well, anyway, now you understand our cloak and dagger approach.
The Clampetts, bless their well-meaning hearts, must not find out that we're in town.
Our lips are sealed. Right, Miss Hathaway?
Chief, the presence of Mr. and Mrs. Brewster in our city shall henceforth be considered classified information and shall not be revealed to any unauthorized person or persons under any circumstances whatsoever.
Why don't you practice saying yes? Well, now that that's out of the way, we come to the point of our visit. Edith and I are going to settle down out here.
Really?
Wonderful.
John's company is opening a West Coast office.
And I promised Edith she can build a dream house.
I spent my whole life in New York apartments, and this is really going to be a thrill.
We've already found our lot, and we'd like your bank to handle the escrow. My pleasure. We're going to be here a week now. Do you think we can keep it a secret from the Clampetts? Of course, right?
On my honor, I do hereby pledge...
Just say yes.
As we're leaving, we'll telephone the Clampetts from the airport and tell them hello and goodbye.
You know, dear, it might be safer if we just fly over their house and drop a note, huh?
What are you aiming to tell Mr. Drysdale, Jed?
Well, I'm just going to tell him the truth, that we're fixing to move back home, leastways for a spell.
Well, don't you let him talk you out of it. He's gonna yowl like a scalded cat.
Oh, I think he'll take it all right. He knows you've had a hankering for a long time now.
It ain't just me, Jed. Everybody wants to go back home. Ain't that right, everybody?
I don't.
Speak when you're spoke to.
Just hush up and drive, boy.
Well, Granny said everybody.
You ain't everybody.
I'm somebody.
That ain't everybody.
Well, the three of you ain't everybody neither. It takes four to be everybody.
Just hush up and drive, boy.
Duke and me sure will be glad to get back home.
See, Jed? Everybody wants to go.
That ain't everybody.
1, 2, 3, 4, everybody.
Gee whiz, Granny.
Just hush up and drive, boy.
Can we come in? Well, of course.
My goodness, this is our day for surprise visits.
Come in, come in. Sit down.
Well, see you later. Duty calls.
Would you like some coffee?
Oh, no, thanks. You're busy. We'll just get right to why we's here. You see, Granny's been kind of restless.
Everybody has.
Of course, and I understand. You've been here a long time, no change of scenery. I suggest taking a little trip.
That's exactly what we had in mind.
Good. Southern California has everything to offer. Mountains, beaches, desert.
We's going back home.
Fine. Now, I'll drop by this evening with some maps and folders, and we'll plan a little... You do mean this home?
You mean the home where we come from?
Today. Not 3 years ago.
Home to the hills.
Beverly Hills. Not those other hills.
Those other hills, Mr. Drysdale.
You can send Jez $50 million to Luke Short in Sibley.
Luke's got a safe in his general store.
Come on, Jez.
No, you can't go. I won't let you go.
What did you say?
Mr. Drysdale, we got a lot to do, and it's a long drive back to our cabin.
And I can't wait to get there.
But you've got a cabin here, the one you put up beside the pool, remember?
It ain't quite the same.
Now, stand aside.
What will I tell the Brewsters?
You mean them honeymooners?
Yes, they're back in town.
Granny, you remember that pretty little city woman that fell in love with the cabin?
Oh, yes.
And they still talk about that wedding night.
Is that a fact?
You know, Jed, I never did get to learn that poor city woman about how to make lye soap or sling chitlins or butcher hog.
Here is your chance.
You gonna be here for a spell?
For a whole week.
Well, doggy.
It would be kind of a shame to leave just now, wouldn't it?
I reckon the Brewsters would look on it as downright unfriendly.
Let's go home and commence making the cabin ready for them.
Oh, I'll never forget this. Neither will the Brewsters.
Are you fetch him to our place?
I'll get them there somehow. Sometime this afternoon.
We'll be ready for them.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
What a terrible thing to do to the Brewsters. Ned, on that Brewster escrow, knock 5% off our regular fee. I feel better.
I never did see anyone so fond of pigs and chickens. Charmin, she calls them.
Funny how life has come full circle. It was Mr. Brewster that made us rich by buying our oil. Now, at last, we got a chance to do something nice for him.
I sure would like to be there when Mr. Drysdale tells him the good news.
I understand you've been trying to find me, Melbourne. Yeah, sit down, John.
Edith and I were just overlooking at the lot. I've never seen a woman so happy and excited. All she can think about is that dream house.
Glad I was able to save it for you, John.
Right. What do you mean?
Clampett oil is very important to your company, wouldn't you say?
Well, it certainly is. It's the richest field we've got, our major source of income.
Without it, there'd be no West Coast office, no dream house, right?
Right.
Johnny, you came that close to losing it.
Losing the Clampett oil?
Now, relax, relax.
I was here to throw myself into the breach.
What happened?
The Clampetts came by to tell me they were moving back to their home in the hills.
Yes?
In a flash, I saw the danger you were in. One look at those wells, one sniff of that oil, one thump of those drills, and Jed Clampett would have said, out. Throw everything out. Close it down.
You really think so? The wells are quite a distance from the cabin.
Johnny, I know these people. I know how they think. I know what makes them tick.
Well, what did you do?
Like I said, I know them. And one thing they respect is courage. So, I planted myself in front of the door like this, and I said, no, no. You can't go, I won't let you go.
Oh, that did take courage. Why, you might have jeopardized your own relationship with me.
Well, all I could think of at that moment was you and your bride and saving her dream house.
Well, I don't know what to say, Melbourne. It's really, I'm just overwhelmed.
Ah, forget it.
No, that's something I'll never do. Edith's waiting for me down in the car. I've got to tell her about this.
Oh, John, there's something else you've got to tell her.
Oh, what's that?
Sit down.
What is it, Melbourne?
What is it, John?
Well, darling, it seems that in the excitement of the moment, he let it slip out that we're in town.
Is that what you've been so nervous about telling me?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness, there are worse things than that.
Well, I'm coming to them. Edith, that dream house we're going to build, I'd say it's worth a little sacrifice, a little temporary discomfort, wouldn't you?
John, isn't this the street that goes up to the Clampetts?
You didn't answer my question, dear.
Oh, you didn't answer mine. Are we headed for the Clampetts?
Edith, no matter what happens today, just keep saying to yourself, my dream house, my dream house. It'll take you through whatever lies ahead.
What does lie ahead?
Well...
Never mind. I see it. It's the Clampett driveway.
Well, start saying it, dear. My dream house, my dream house.
John, please don't turn in.
Say it, darling. Say those 3 magic words.
You turned in! My dream house.
Did you hear that, Jed?
My dream house.
Sure grabs at your heart, don't it?
Here's a holding chicken for you, Miss Brewster.
Oh, here. Let me hold it, dear.
Well, in here, Miss Brewster. You can have the pig.
My dream house. My dream house.
Hot doggy, she is fond of pig. Took it right inside with her. She seems partial to chickens.
Did you see that? Mrs. Brewster's so happy she went to crying.
Well, he's about to cut loose herself.
Well, doggone it. The way she keeps calling that little cabin her dream house. It'd set a mule to boiling.
Jed, want me to fetch a cow for Miss Brewster to milk?
Not yet, boy. We're going to let her do her learning on Ellie's goat. Get the feel of it, so to speak.
What about her soap-making lesson, Granny? Should I start a fire under the kettle?
No, just let's leave them 2 lovebirds alone in their dream house for a spell. After all, it's like a second honeymoon for them.
Yeah, I'm glad Mr. Drysdale told us they was in town.
Please unbolt the door, honey. Let's sit down and talk this over. Edith! Look, honey, I was trapped. I had to agree to this to save the Clampett oil field. To save your dream house. Don't you see, sweetheart? I did it for you. I love you. Look, honey, we can face anything as long as we're together.
John, I'm sorry I've been such a child.
It's all right, precious.
I feel better now that I've had a good cry.
Well, of course you do.
And you're absolutely right. We can face anything as long as we're together.
Ah, that's my wonderful girl.
And someday we'll look on this as a lark. We'll look back on it and we'll have a good laugh.
When we're in that beautiful dream house, huh?
Oh, yes. Come in.
Hey, Hello, honeymooners.
How are you, Granny?
How's everything?
Oh, just wonderful, Granny.
Fine. I got a dandy surprise for you. Young'uns, fetch in Thelma.
Thelma? John, what's that?
It's a goat, dear.
You're Miss Brewster. You seem to favor having your livestock in the house.
A milker from the left, and don't let her butt you.
This goat is for me to milk?
Oh, won't that be fun, dear? A kind of a lark, huh?
Don't worry about your clothes, honey. I bring you a house dress. Poor little thing. She just can't take too much happiness, can she?
I did it, John. I milked that miserable goat.
Oh, Edith, my wonderful... Oh. You did, didn't you? Cheer up, dear. The worst is over.
Oh, no, it isn't. Do you know what my next lesson is?
What?
How to make lye soap with hog renderings and possum fat. And then I'm going to learn how to hand sling chitlins and stir off sorghum.
Well, doggies. I was just kidding, dear.
Well, I'm not, John. I'm sorry, but I cannot take this kind of life. Especially when I know that 100 feet away in that beautiful mansion, there are a dozen palatial bedroom suites with luxurious baths and dressing rooms.
Darling, you've just given me a great idea. We'll be out of here and into one of those suites in a matter of minutes.
How will you do
Well,
it?
it's very simple. I'll just tell Granny that you're dying for a nice hot bath. Obviously, there are no bathing facilities here, so...
Oh, of course.
And once we're inside that mansion, we'll never leave.
Oh, John, you're wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, I can feel that hot tub already.
You're turning a nice rosy color, Edith.
I doubt it. This water's pretty hot.
Oh, it ain't the water, it's my lye soap. Want to wash your face?
No, I don't know if I should. John has always admired soft, delicate skin.
Then this is what you want. This would tender up a gator's hide.
I think I've had enough.
Want me to go over your back with the brush again?
No, please. I'd like to get out now.
Well, just a minute. Ellie, fetch in the rinse water. Best to rinse off with rainwater. Cuts the soap. Otherwise, your skin is liable to soften right down to the quick. You want me to do the pouring, Granny? Yeah, Ellie, you have a little height on me. Here you are, honey. Stand up. All right, Ellie, let her have the rainwater. Oh! Well, have you ever seen hot rain?
I wonder if I should check on Edith.
Well, not till Granny gives the signal. She don't allow menfolk within shotgun range at bath time.
Chances are Granny's letting her soak a bit. You see, this time of the year, she puts a little extra possum fat and coal oil in her soap.
Possum fat and coal oil.
Yeah, it leaves what they call lingering fragrance on the skin. And it keeps the bugs away from one Saturday to the next.
There's the all-clear signal. You can go back to the cabin now.
You're going to find the waiting was worth it.
Yes, well, excuse me.
Well, Jethro, let's keep the happiness coming. Now that Mrs. Brewster's learned how to milk, we're going to fetch her a nice fat cow.
You don't have to come along, Uncle Jed. I can heft the cow on the truck by myself.
Well, I reckon you can at that. Handle her gentle. Here's $10.
Yes, sir. I'll bring back the change.
Howdy, Miss Jane.
Mr. Clampett, are the Brewsters still in the cabin?
Yep, and happy as a pair of squirrels in a nut tree.
No, Mr. Clampett.
No?
No. You see, the Brewsters have bought a vacant lot here in Beverly Hills, and that's where Mrs. Brewster wants to put up her dream house.
What dickens you say?
That's the simple truth.
And all this time we had them stuck way out in the back there.
Yes.
Well, where is this lot of theirs?
Let me drive you over and show it to you.
Fine and dandy.
Morning, Miss Hathaway.
Good morning, Chief.
You know, I could hardly sleep last night for worrying about the Brewsters.
They're waiting for you in your office.
Oh,
Chief, wait. Everything's all right.
it is?
Yes, they moved into their hotel last evening.
Oh, well. Melbourne, I thought I heard your voice. Edith and I are going to pick up our architect and drive by the lot. I thought you might like to come along.
You too, Miss Hathaway.
Thank you, but I've seen the lot. It's just lovely.
I'll be back in about an hour. Well, John, Edith, how do you like the way I got you back into your hotel room so quickly?
It was magic, Melbourne.
You're magic.
Just took a little intelligent thinking.
We're getting close, Mr. McKeegan.
You certainly are fortunate to find a vacant lot on this street.
They paid enough for it. By the way, John, did anyone mention a 5% discount on your escrow fee?
No.
Good. Forget it.
Here it is, coming up on your right.
Cary Grant is one of our neighbors.
Edith's so thrilled she doesn't know what to... What?
Oh, John!
Here's your dream house.
Took us all night to get it up, but she's ready now.
So, Miss Brewster's gone to bawling again.
No doubt about it, that woman just can't take too much happiness.